The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Bermuda's Feel Good Early Morning Show. Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert, and we are ready to bring you some feel good vibes this morning. Our feel good topic of the day is the 2021 cricket season right here in Bermuda, and we are bringing in Rajan Simons and Kamal Labrock into the studio for that discussion. We have a feel good vibe of the day by Mr. Phonogenic entitled Unlucky Cousin, so make sure you stick around to get those feel good vibes later on. Before we get into all of that, though, let's see who is tuned in with us this morning. Jack, none other than Sean Smith is back with us. Good morning to you, Sean Smith. And we have converted Kathy Rogers into an official Good Day Bermuda fan. So welcome back to the show with us. If you are just watching for the very first time, let us know in the comments. Tell us hello. Let us know where you're watching us from. And if you have been watching us for a while, let us know where you're watching us from. If you're in the island of Bermuda, let us know your parish so that we can shout your parish out because, you know, that's kind of important. Jack and I both at work. So there's that. Good morning to you, Shanette Bell, and good morning to Taja Fox. So let's jump right in to our first feel-good question for our feel-good warm-up. We simply want to know which Connie games are the best, Eastern or Western. Now, we need you to answer in the comments which Connie games you believe are the best. If you've been to both, you are probably the person that we want to know the most at the answer from. Jackie and I have our responses that we're going to get into right now. So, Jack, you have to let the audience know which kind of games do you believe are the best?
Eastern.
And you have to tell the audience why, because the audience may not know that you're funny best. So I just need you to give some context as to why Eastern.
That's why I laughed. I laughed because I was just like, I mean, I've only been to like one or two Western games. I mean, like, I don't know. Eastern is like a whole event. You have to find an outfit. I mean, some people just go down there, but you have to find an outfit because you're gonna walk a bunch of laps. I mean, I usually go with the last few years that I've gone, because I had stopped going for a while, but the last few years that I've gone with somebody that is very social, and he drags me to every single camp. So it's definitely a situation where you have to feel your stomach before you get to the field, because the first thing you do is take a lap, and I'm just like, sir, like Mr. Akil Darrell, can we please
not the name call?
Can we please sit down for a second? Like, we have literally hit every spot, and he'll be like, oh, her. The first time I had one with me, he was like, here, Jack, take your cup. And I was just like, huh? And before we got to the next spot, we had to finish our sample swizzle, but it's not a sample swizzle, it's the whole cup.
It's definitely a cup.
But I went to Western, it's less people. It seems more like real chill. You have your cooler, you sit on your camp, your tent, you take a lap or whatever, but it's not as busy, I guess you could say. So it's not as dangerous for your liver.
Your livers are safer in the West than they are in the East. If you're just joining us, we do want to know, in your opinion, which kind of games are the best, Eastern versus Western. We do have Shauna Bell. She's watching us in Hamilton Parish. So shout out to all those in Crowell Bay or Hamilton Parish, whichever name you want to give to the parish. Shawnette also says that Eastern Connie games are the best. And Kathy Rogers agrees that without a doubt, Eastern, she agrees it's the whole atmosphere and the vibe of Eastern Connie. I know personally, I've actually never been to a Western Connie game, so I can't compare the two. All I can say is I love the Eastern Connie vibe, as both you and Kathy have mentioned. It's like a mini cup match. It's for some people, It's probably bigger than cup match. And
for I don't know. People, if you ask sort of for some people, it is better than cup match. I've seen it. I'm just like, who cares about cup match? Like, give us Connie.
And I think a lot of people were definitely excited to see that, we had the first game over the last weekend. So I know a lot of people were out there with their safe keys and they made sure they got what they needed to get if they wanted to experience Connie games this weekend or this past weekend. So let us know in the comments, which Connie games you believe are the best, Eastern versus Western. And we also want to know, since you've maybe decided Eastern versus Western Connie games are better, do you have a team? Because I think it's very important to talk about the teams, because I feel like the loyalists that are cup match teams, like, whoever your cup match team is, you might find that some people are for a different Connie game. Like, a Connie team. So, like, if they're for an Eastern Connie team versus a Western Connie team, like, but they might be a Somerset fan. Do you have a team, Jack?
I didn't, but if you ask a few of my friends, they'll tell you like, honestly, with each fan group, they tell me I have a different team, and I'm just like, I'm just here for the fun.
You're definitely there for the atmosphere and the vibe, clearly.
Yeah, I don't really.
So Jacky sounds like one of those people that, like, not you being a bandwagon, like your friends have just made it such that you can't pick a team, because every time you pick a team, it's like, why you're not for this team? Why you're not for that team? So
I have friends that play, so they're just like, how are you not going to support me? And I'm just like, wow, I didn't even choose. I just showed up to cheer on everybody. And when I say cheer on everybody, banter.
Banter, yes. The spectators definitely show up and show out when they come to a Connie game. So let us know in the comments if you have a Connie game team. Jacky's for everybody. She's definitely non-discriminatory that way. My team is St. David's. I'm a St. David's Islander. Like, if you didn't see on my Instagram, I got a hole-in-one. And if you not only look at my attire, but if you look at my feet, you should be able to tell that
then I should be from St. David's. Then I should be from St. David's too, because the first thing I do is take my shoes off. Like, I'm at work, and I remember I used to teach sometimes barefoot, and people are like, "Where are your shoes?" I'm like, I'd like take them off and put them to the side. I'm like, ugh.
Too restrictive. I think shoes are too restrictive when you're trying to have fun like that. I was playing mini golf. The greens weren't real greens, so the grip on my shoes didn't really help. So I said, forget this. We gotta not have these shoes on. I used to live in St. David's when I was a young girl, and so you just I would go to the cricket club, to the playground right next to the cricket club and St. David's Primary, and that was like the spot to hang out. So I'm just like, I've always been around St. David's Cricket. Since leaving, I stayed Hamilton Parish / Bay, but I never really went to a game for like when Bay played. I was always there, like, obviously when St. David's played, but I didn't really pay attention to Bay. So sorry, not sorry.
Yikes.
It is what it is. Let us know in the comments who your Connie team is. I saw some people say that they, prefer Eastern Connie. Maybe y'all are like Jacky. Maybe y'all are just loyalists and y'all just go for the atmosphere. Y'all don't really pay attention too tough to the teams, and that's fine. If you don't want to declare a team because you don't want to upset anyone, that's totally fine. I have put my stake in the grass, the ground, whatever you want to say, blue and yellow. That's all I can say, and blue, but we know who my cup match team is, so we'll leave that there. Even though Jack, oh look, we wore colors today. Look at that.
I was like, let me make sure I wear my colors. It's getting too close. I haven't been paying attention because I wear like a blue skirt and I just throw on a blue shirt and then I'll walk around and I'll look down. I'll be like, please don't say anything. So I have to like, I'm like, where's my lipstick? Okay, red lipstick. I'm like, red.
Red lipstick it is. So we're going to take a quick commercial break before we get into our feel-good vibe of the day, which is the 2021 cricket season. We will be bringing in Rajan Simons and Kamal Lavrock into the studio for that discussion, so make sure you do not go anywhere.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert, and we are going to get ready to transition into our feel-good topic of the day, which is the 2021 cricket season. Backstage, we have Rajan, who is the marketing and fund manager of the Bermuda Cricket Board. We also have Kamal Lavrock, who is a Bermudian cricketer who recently played in the Eastern Connie Cup match for Flats Victoria. So I want to welcome them both into the studio. Good morning, Rajan, and good morning, Kamal.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome back. So if this is the first time you are watching Good Day Bermuda, we've had both Rajan and Kamal featured on the show before. So today we're going to have another conversation with them, similar to what we had before. Rajan, we want to know, because recently we had our first Eastern Connie game. What was the turnout like, and what has been the buzz since that first match?
I actually went to Eastern Connie this weekend going, and it was an amazing turnout. A lot of people don't really realize that the cricket board doesn't really have anything to do with the county games. They are strictly hosted by the Eastern Connie Cricket Association and the Western Connie Cricket Association, and also involved in that is Mr. Stephen Douglas, which is our cricket committee chair. So, I just went because, I want to see what the atmosphere is like, and I love Eastern Connie, and it was a good turnout. It was a good vibe. I think I saw somebody's tweet that said, like, the day actually felt normal, which was amazing, and I love that for everybody who felt that way.
Totally agree.
Now, summer's here, Rajan, okay? And that means summer camp. And I do have a question. How is the Bermuda Cricket Board summer camp doing so far?
It was doing so well. We're in our third week, and this is actually our third and final week. We usually do 3 weeks in July or the week after cup match. And it's going amazing. The kids are having so much fun, boys and girls. They're swimming, they're doing skills and drills, and our camp coordinator, I guess you can call her that, she's also our development fund and vice president, Miss Kelly Smith. She's running that. And it's just going really well. They're enjoying it. The same ones come back every year. Then they want to play the league, and that's something else to talk about. But yeah.
And do you have any national players that make appearances?
Kamal was supposed to make appearance. Calling you out. But yeah, sometimes we have little pop-ups. But I know with COVID right now, the government has some strict regulations and restrictions on camps. So it's not really anybody can like pop in and pop out.
Okay.
So, but yeah, usually we do.
Okay. So Kamal, since everybody keeps beating up on you, your first game was this weekend. How do you feel about your performance, and do you have any highlights?
It was all right. I hadn't played in about 3 weeks, so it was good to get out there and play. I was been locked up in a hotel room for 2. Probably my highlight would be being on a hat trick. Almost got it. It wasn't able to hang on to the catch, but it was a good day all in all. Besides the result.
The result. How does your team feel about the next upcoming game that you guys are gonna have to play in? Do you have another game coming up?
Well, I play league cricket for Somerset, but I talk to the Flats guys all the time. They're always quite hopeful of county game every year. I think they just need to find that little bit of a cutting edge to finally win it.
Sorry. Full season swing coming out. How does Somerset feel about cup match coming up next week? Are you guys prepared to win?
Yeah. I went to training yesterday, and it was a vibe actually. Everyone was there, league players, guest players. Everyone came out. Training was very, very good. The coach was quite satisfied. We have training again tonight and tomorrow. So the trial on Saturday. So everyone's getting themselves in form.
That's interesting. So actually, I want to pause really quickly and just remind the audience, if you have any questions for Kamal or Rajan, please drop them in the comment section. And I wanted to kind of go back a little bit, Kamal, because you said that you played Connie for flats, but you play league for Somerset. Like, what's the difference? Like, because actually Sean Smith said he can't help us when we're asking about, his Connie team because he doesn't like cricket. It's boring to him. But for someone that doesn't know the difference between league and Connie, like, can you briefly describe like how you can play Connie for flats but league for Somerset?
There's a few ways you can qualify for Eastern County. So that's living arrangements. They have borders. So I think the flats borders between Devonshire and Flats. Cleveland is like Devils Hill. St. David's is obviously St. David's, and Bay is the Crow area to the Causeway. So you could qualify by living there either from birth or stayed there for two years, or you can play for one of the teams for 2 years and qualify that way. So those are ways you can play. But I believe once you qualify through living arrangements, you can play whenever you want and play for whatever league team you want. But if you qualify through play for the team, once you leave the team, you can't play anymore.
I really did not know that. I think that that's very interesting.
Sounds like applying to school, like jurisdictions. Rajan, you had touched on, I think you said league for the children.
Yeah. Okay. So we're about to actually have our 2021 youth leagues. So we're actually doing registration. Registration deadline is today. It can roll over a little bit, but we're hoping to get them started next week. So we're trying to do under 8 through under 18. So if anybody wants to register, sign the kids up for that, you can just go to www.cricketbermuda.com, and there's an online registration form. So it's super easy. It takes 5 minutes or so, and registration is free.
Is there a criteria for that for an individual to sign up, or is it like you sign up and you're automatically in?
No criteria. If you haven't played before, you don't really know. At the top, it asks you what team or school your child goes to. And if you haven't played cricket before, you can easily just put in your school, or you can contact us and we'll place the child in a team. So that also comes with training. So we play matches, but the teams or the clubs will also train. So yeah, it's good for beginners too.
And one last question for you, Rajan, about this. Is there a difference between there's that.
Girls. So we also have girls teams. We're actually trying to get the girls to do indoor cricket. We usually have a whole girls league. For both.
Perfect. Now, come on, I want to come back to you because you've been training. I'm not sure if everybody has seen your routine while you were in quarantine, but you have been training. You have been getting everything, I guess, fitness-wise sorted out. Were you able to do any other training other than just fitness while you were in quarantine?
I've got some tennis balls and a football net delivered to me, so I could at least hit the ball into the net, but nothing too major, just pretty much fitness every day.
And now that you're out of quarantine, what's the difference between training in quarantine looking like now that you're out of quarantine? It sounds like you're in jail. It's crazy.
Well, for starters, I get more than 1 hour a day outside of my room. But now I could actually, have the freedom to go to the gym or go to the nets and have it in the nets on my own time.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so a lot of people that have been in quarantine have had to adjust mentally. Have you been able to readjust to socialize and get out there and be able to, because obviously in quarantine is literally just you by yourself, and you maybe socialize outside of that face to face for maybe an hour if you're talking to maybe security or anybody else that's under quarantine restrictions as well. But how have you been able to mentally convert back to being outside to prepare yourself for these matches?
I think it depends on who you are. With me, I kind of had to, when I came out, it was my mom's birthday, so I kind of had to see a lot of people as soon as I came out. So I think it depends on how you are as a person. You could either jump back into it, or it might take you some time. I know a lot of people, it takes a lot of mental strain to be in quarantine for 14 days. I know I struggled a bit. And I'm quite mentally sound. through cricket and stuff. But I struggled a bit myself, so I think it depends on the person really how they react to it when they come out.
So it sounds like getting out there and working out was definitely a good release for you then.
Yeah, that helped the most, I think, because you're spending 23 hours in your hotel rooms. The TV is not as good as it would be at home, and there's not much to do.
So you said you have trials coming up this weekend, right?
Yeah.
What do trials look like for you guys? Because I've never actually been, I've never been a part of, like, say going up and watching what the trials would look like. But what type of day does that look like for you?
From a player's perspective, the game starts at 10 a.m. You have a president's 11 versus a vice president's 11. They split the teams up into the two. You go warm up around 9:15, 9:30. I believe the president's 11 always bat first. They could bat for as long as they want, declare whenever they want. You quite get a lot of fans at cup match trials because people want to see who's doing well and pick their own teams and see who should be in the team, who shouldn't be in the team. So I think if you find yourself at either end, you could probably find a good amount of people at these watching.
I know if they're going to be safety events. Like, this is just a random thought. I wonder if they're going to make them safety events.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing, I guess. Or just let everybody go up there. I don't know. I didn't think that.
Yeah. If it's over 275 people.
Yeah, the players are getting tested tomorrow, so it might be a safety event. It might not be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to put in that bubble. Rayshan, so I'm Somerset, Kamal Somerset, Terry is St. George's. I don't actually know who your team is.
I'm a St. George's fan.
Hey, it's split 50-50. I love this.
I was sitting here and I'm just like, Rayshan's always quiet. I don't know who she's for. Are we even or are we outnumbered?
St. George's fan, and I'm a huge cup match fan. I go to cup match every single year. It's like a theme.
So, yes, because you're somebody makes sandwiches, and I always read.
My mom. My dad always usually got some spot. Obviously, he's not here this year, and obviously last year. But yeah, man, my mom makes sandwiches. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's a thing.
Like, that's so good, and that's just basic sandwiches, but they are so yummy, guys. So if you see Rayshan and ask her for some sandwiches. But Ray, like, what are your plans for cup match? Because we know Kamal's gonna be playing, but what are your plans? I'm gonna ask Terry next.
I'm kind of indecisive because my friends are trying to get a plot or whatever, but I'm just like, I don't know. I'm getting to Miami Carnival, so I'm trying to prioritize. So I'm indecisive right now. I'm indecisive. It's gonna be weird if I don't go, so maybe I should. But then I'm like, I don't know. I'm on the edge.
Rayshan's a true Gemini. It's just like, I'm indecisive. I'm
indecisive. I'm so indecisive.
So Terry, does that mean that you're indecisive as well? Because because last year you were sending me, I think it was last year you sent me a picture saying, or you had posted on Instagram, which outfit should you do? You do Hill.
Oh yeah, that wasn't last year. I think it was the year before. But yeah,
obviously not last year.
It's like, we're just gonna say that last year was 2019, even though it was 2020. That's what we're gonna say. So I don't have any plans just yet. I typically like to watch the stream, but there's not gonna be a stream this year, so I'm kind of like a little bit salty about that. I used to watch the stream and listen to the radio because the radio commentary is much better than the stream. So I kind of would do the two together. So I'm definitely going to be listening to the match. I don't know, because I feel like, too, like Rayshan's point is like, you want to go down there to experience. I want to be able to see the players. I want to be able to hackle if I can. They're not going to hurt me, but I want to do that experience. But then I'm also like, save key. The idea of not being able to kind of socialize the way I would like to or would normally socialize definitely kind of plays into my decision. But at the end of the day, I wear my blue and blue. I'll be cheering St. George's on, win, lose. I don't want to draw. It's either win or lose this year. It's got to be win or lose. But I definitely would love to just, I'm grateful that we're open. I'm grateful that we're outside. That's what I can definitely say about Cup match. I feel like even like to Rajan's point, the whole idea of Connie game last week and it feeling like a sense of normalcy, I would just like that to happen for Cup match as well.
Come on, I do have to ask, is your family having a spot?
Oh yeah, they have a spot every year.
And they have food.
So,
Come to
yes,
Crash, love rocks.
Of course, they have food.
Okay, cool. Because that's what I was saying. I'm not sure if Mama's watching, but I plan to have tickets to like just in case if I decide to just like, you know what? I'm getting dressed and I'm going, guys. So I need to know where I can save my life and eat some food. Because if it's safe key, there should be some, you should be able to hop around and see some people. So I do plan to do that. Not that anybody asked me what my plans were, but I'm just going to say that. But going back to streaming, that is more controlled by the club versus Bermuda Cricket Board, right?
Yeah, correct. So the board is just a regulating body. So we regulate the rules and any type of, I guess, any type of issues that the clubs might have in regards to the game. But the clubs control Cup match.
Okay.
I actually have an audience question, Jack, because I feel like I know you got a million questions in your head, but I'm gonna give you a break because I got an audience question, so you can calm down for a second. Come on, this one's for you. Do you feel pressure to play cricket or any sport because of your family pedigree?
No, actually, I don't have any pressure. No one actually, got me into sports. A lot of people always tell me that they remember me from a young man having a ball in my hand from 2-3 years old. So there was no real pressure. It kind of came naturally. I think sometimes I have a son as well now, and I could see that he's not really interested in sports. So I don't really put any pressure on him. I just find out what he likes and just buy him a bunch of stuff what he likes. So there's no real pressure in our family to become a sportsman per se. If you do feel pressure, it would probably be pressure from yourself, a personal pressure, but otherwise than that, no, there's no real pressure.
I think that's awesome because you definitely feel. I mean, your last name's pretty famous on this island, so it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah, internationally too. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, I could see how that could be someone's thought of you, but I think it's beautiful that you're able to say that and like you have a son and you're like, I mean, he's not into sports, so I'm not even gonna try right now. Maybe he'll get into it later, but you're like saying it's not something that you've taken on because it's not something that was given to you or kind of pushed onto you. I think that's great.
Yeah, more of the pressure comes from outside. Because I do play cricket now, it's like, you have to do this, or I came here to see you. So the more of the pressure from the outside rather than family members. My family's just like, whatever you do, we're proud of you. But, a lot of fans are looking for me to do a lot more. Like friends on Saturday are asking why I only scored 41 runs, like scoring runs is easy. So it's quite a different change between fans and family.
I think the people that expect the most from you are they athletes?
Questions.
Do they play cricket? There's a real question. These are real questions because people come to me and they'll be like, "Why you lost that match? Why did you do this?" And then I'm like, you know what? I think you should actually come watch the match, and then you can decide. And then also, here's a racket and try the sport. So like, Rajan gets it now. Rajan gets it.
Harder than it looks.
We're gonna work on that backhand. But come on, are you going to be here for the rest of the season, or are you bouncing as soon as Cup matches are over?
I'm here for about a week after Cup match, and then I have to leave. I'm actually the player coach at my local club back in Notts, so I have to go back and resume my job.
And I know you say you don't put pressure on your son to do that, but is he around that environment? Like, do you take him when you go to cricket training or when you're coaching?
Yeah, sometimes I take him when I have him for the week or something. I take him with me to train, and he watches. But he's more of a gadget guy. He'd rather sit there and from when he was about 2 before he could even form full sentences. He knew how to find Netflix on my phone. So I think he's probably going to go that route rather than the sports route.
All right, I'm all for techies. I'm all for the techie because I'm a techie. So we'll welcome him over here with open arms. So, Rajan, I actually want to ask you one last question before we wrap up. So, Kamal mentioned that, in his family, there's no pressure. So to be a sportsman, as far as the kids that are doing the camps, what are some of the things y'all talk to them about outside of the actual game, like about, their personal growth and development? Like, do you guys include that in it as well?
Yeah, for sure. One of the main things about our youth programs, any program we have, is life skills. So we make sure we equip the players with this. Rather, I'm trying to think what we do. It's not coming to my mind right now. But basically, we partner with a bunch of programs on the island. Especially when it comes to our national teams and the under-19s, and we have people come and share some things with them, and the kids, they enjoy that. I think that's a whole part of the game, as Kamal will tell you. I know he's been through the program, and we not only teach these skills and the drills and how to be a good player, but also how to be a good person, a good human being. You know what I mean? And the tools you need to actually move forward. It's a gentleman's game, or you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we tend to add those things to our programs.
That's awesome. And so, come on, before we get up out of here, I obviously want to get you to let the audience know how they can contact you. But since Rajan just mentioned it, can you share your experience of doing the program before you let people know how they can contact you?
Yeah, I was part of cricket camp when there was multiple on the islands and used to travel and play against others. So I remember quite fondly playing for the Western Stars cricket camp, traveling to Rangers cricket camp, Bay cricket camp, Somerset cricket camp. But now I think the interest has dwindled. So I think there's just one cricket camp. So yeah, I had Arnold Manders as a coach. So he was quite old school PE teacher. So he
yeah, shout out to our president.
Yeah, a lot of drills and skills and stuff. So it kind of, created a bunch of actual cricketers and gentlemen and students of the game. He helped us to learn how to think the game. I think one time he held us inside the clubhouse for half of the day, more than half the day, and said, if everyone doesn't know every fielding position on this whiteboard and they can't name it, we don't go outside to play cricket. So it kind of, gave us things to learn, taught us how to be men, and it was a great experience. So I've been around to the camp now, and it's a lot more inclusive than it was before. We didn't have girls at our cricket camps, so it's a lot more inclusive, and the things they're doing is a lot different. So it's nice to see the progression of it.
Awesome. And can you let the audience know how they can contact you?
Yeah. So Facebook is a bit of a dud at the moment because I have a lot of random messages from like Indians and stuff like that, Southeast Asians. So my Instagram, KMLev_11. It's the easiest way to contact me, or you could find me on Twitter, KLevrock_22. I answer both of those quite frequently. So if you have any questions, just message me.
Awesome. And we actually have an audience question before we wrap up with Rajan. This question comes from Shawnette Bell. She wants to know, what are your thoughts on the minister relaxing the rules for league games? So either of you can respond if either of you have an opinion on it.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of a double-edged sword, because at the end of the day, we're liable for anything that happens at the games. But on the other side of the spectrum, we have multiple games going on during the weekend. So usually we have 3 venues. So we're not going to get as many spectators as we would have got last season for T20, because we only had 1 or 2 venues and everybody was coming out to this. So, it kind of works out. I just feel like, we've been in this space for a long time, and it's great that we're relaxing and we're getting a little bit back to normal. But on on my end and on the board's end, safety is key for everybody, and we just want to make sure that we're having a good time, but that everybody's safe as well. And I just want to mention one more thing about the league, if I can.
Sure.
So I don't know if you guys know, but I have 3 interns at the Bermuda Cricket Board this year, and the really great gentlemen. Everybody is doing good things, but they are also arranging a match of the day event on Sunday at Southampton Rangers. So it should be really good if you guys want to come out to that. We're trying to get some more people at the clubs. So it's going to be a DJ. We're going to do some giveaways, and it should be a good time. So if you don't have anything to do and you want to go out to a game and you haven't been to a domestic league game yet, it should be a good environment.
What time?
It's going to be the second game, so 3 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And if you could let the audience know, Rajan, how they can contact you if they want to learn more.
Oh, yeah. So you can contact us at info@cricket.bm or myself at marketing@cricket.bm. And you can also go into our website. Like I keep saying, we revamped our website. It's all new. We're still working our little kings and trying to get the stats and this season's table up on it. So hopefully we got that done today, but it's also www.cricketbermuda.com. And then also registration for everything is on there. You have our documents. You can see any of the rules. So it's like basically a one-stop shop for all our information.
Awesome. So we want to thank you both for joining us bright and early this morning. It was an awesome conversation about Bermuda's 2021 cricket season. We're looking forward to seeing Kamal play next week, although he's playing for the other team. It's okay. We're still going to support him as a brand.
Not a sure thing. Let's stay off the tryout.
Yes, that's true. So trials are this Saturday. It's at both clubs, right? Somerset and St. George's have their trial matches at each of their clubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can come out to either side and support your favorite players or your not so favorite players. It's fine. Pick your cup match team if you want to. Thank you both for joining us once again. We're going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll be right back.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app, available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. If you are just joining us and you got to watch the entire or a portion of our conversation with Rajan and Kamal Lavrak, well, Rajan Simon, Kamal Lavrak, do make sure you give us a care icon if you're watching, or care reaction if you're watching on Facebook, because that's Jackie and I's favorite. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. And for all of our tweets over there on Twitter, make sure you run up those hearts. Before we get into our feel good vibe of the day, we do want you to let us know what your thoughts on our conversation with Rajan and Kamal. I don't know about y'all, but cup matches next week, and if you're not ready, you need to get ready. Even if you're not getting to the match, if you don't have a plot, you don't know who has a plot, that's irrelevant. Make sure you get yourself prepared, get your colors ready. All next week, it's only the cup match colors. If you get caught out not wearing cup match colors for the correct team, the team that you support, you will probably end up on Bermudes. Just saying.
As Daniel Woods used to say, probably still says, why you dumb?
St. George's. Why you dumb? Exactly. That's the best meme, GIF, whatever you want to call it.
We're going to find that.
We do. So I'm actually going to bring in our feel-good vibe of the day, which is entitled Unlucky Cousin by our good friend, Mr. Photogenic. I was going to say his real name just now. So I'm going to put that up on the screen for y'all to enjoy.
All right, cousin. Unlucky. Don't worry about it. Hear me? You did good, all right? Hey, don't show these, by the way. That's good lumber. What did he bet to you? What's he bet for?
Listen, everything about that just made me give it. It wasn't the bat's fault. That's good lumber.
The funniest part is I hadn't seen the video, but I know exactly who that is, and I can't wait to message him. Say, bruh, you just threw away your bet. Like, that's a good bet. You could have given it away.
Just threw away the bat. We hope today's Feel Good vibe of the day has you ready to make it a great day. Thank you for watching this episode of Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. We trust we'll see you tomorrow for another Feel Good conversation. Until the next episode, peace and have a good day, Bermuda.